I blew up hundreds of challenge accounts and tens of funded accounts in 2 years. Not because I didn't know how to trade, not because I didn't have a strategy, but because I couldn't handle losing a single day without losing my shit. One red day would turn into revenge trading. I would size up, would hold my losers for too long, would break all the rules I know I shouldn't. And it wasn't until I hit the rock bottom. Literally, I was staring at a wasted account on Friday night and thinking to myself, what have I done again? And realizing that my problem wasn't the market, it was me all along. It was my brain. And so I decided to train it. And I'll show you exactly how I did it, so you can do the same. So let me quickly take you back at year 2 of my trading journey. I knew technical analysis by then. I had my strategy. I had a winning weeks. I wasn't a beginner anymore. But I kept blowing up and I couldn't understand why. I would start the week strong, follow my rules, take the stops, everything clean. And then I would have one losing day. Just one. And something would break inside me. I remember one specific day, it was Thursday in July. I had 3 losses in a row. 3 small losses, nothing special. It was totally within my plan. I was down like 300 probably. But something in me snapped. And my brain just couldn't accept it. Or was it my ego? And I started telling myself, you can't have a losing day. You can't have losing 3 trades in a row. You can't do this. You're a failure. So I took another trade. Bigger size. Typical. You know what happened. I was thinking, I'll make it back. You know how it goes. And then another trade. Even bigger size. Oh, this setup looks perfect. A+ setups. Lost again. And by the end of the day, that 300 loss turned into more than 2,000. I had destroyed 2 weeks of my consistent trading in 4 hours. 2 weeks of discipline lost in 4 hours. And the worst part, I knew what I was doing. I was literally watching myself, breaking every rules, doing every stupid things I told myself I would never do again. But still, yet, here I was doing it. I just couldn't stop. Does it sound familiar to you? And that was my pattern for whole 2 years. I would build the account slowly, nicely, and then one losing day would trigger me and I would spiral. Same pattern, every single time. The last blown account that I remember, it broke me. It was a funded account. I worked so hard to pass it. And then when I finally did, I was so proud of myself. And it lasted for 3 weeks. But it was 3 weeks of disciplined trading. I was up like 10%, everything was going well. And then I had a losing day. I was down like 400. Nothing special, just a normal losing day. But I couldn't let it go. I was chasing it. I started sizing up. And obviously, I blew it. By the time I stopped, I had violated the maximum loss rule. The account was gone. I remember I was sitting there at midnight staring at my screen and the account dashboard just showed terminated. And I was feeling all the spectrum of emotions, from rage to disbelief to like blaming myself for being the stupid person, the worst trader in the world, all of these emotions. And then finally, when it all gone in a few hours, I felt nothing, just emptiness. This was the moment when I thought, I can't keep doing this. Something has to change. Because if it doesn't, I'm done. I'm not gonna make it as a trader. And that's when I realized I wasn't a bad trader. I had a strategy. I knew how to trade, I knew that technical analysis, and I had results of weeks of consistency. So I knew how to do this. The problem was that my brain treated every loss like a personal failure. Like each red trade meant I was worthless. Like each losing day meant I was a failure. And as long as my brain would believe in that, I would keep melting. And so I made a decision. I was going to train my brain to accept a loss. Not be better at taking losses, not be more disciplined, because those are just willpower, and willpower always runs out. What I needed to do is actually rewire how my brain processed losing. Because we always hear losing is just a part of a game. And yes, we understand that. But in the heat of the moment, our survival brain or our ego knows different. So here's what I did. And it sounds stupid, it sounds simple, but listen, it worked. Step 1, I started celebrating losses. I know how it sounds, but listen. Every time I took a loss, if I followed my stop, if I cut the trade where I was supposed to, I would literally say out loud, "Great job, this is what professionals do." And not sarcastically, I meant it. Because taking a planned loss isn't a failure, it's risk management, it's discipline, it's doing the job. The first few times I did it, it felt ridiculous. I was sitting there down like 200 and I was telling to myself, "Great job, this is what professionals do." But slowly, very slowly, my brain started to believe it. Losses stopped feeling like a punishment and started feeling like neutral, just data. Because we all know that our brain trains with repetition. And it's simple to understand, but really not so simple to do. And the more consistent you are with this repetition, the quicker you will get to the result. Step 2. I started tracking good losses. I created a separate column in my journal and I called it, "Did I follow my rules?" It wasn't, "Was I profitable? How much money did I make?" No, it was just, "Did I follow my rules?" And if I took a loss according to my stop, that was a check mark. That was a little win. And listen, after about 30 trades, I had more check marks than I had expected. I was following my plan more than I thought. And that evidence started to change my identity. I wasn't the trader who always screws up. I was becoming the trader who follows their plan. Step 3. The 24-hour rule. So after any losing day, I had 24 hours without trading. I would not trade the following day, period. And not as a punishment, but as a measure of protection. Because I knew my pattern. One losing day would trigger the revenge trade in the next day. So I removed the opportunity. If I lost on Thursday, for example, the Friday is off, I'm not trading. Yes, it felt weird. I was itching to trade. I was like, I'm the boss. No one decides but me. I'm not working on somebody else. Why am I doing this to myself? But this was just my brain trying to negotiate, trying to logically push me back into trading. And that space, that forced break, gave my nervous system time to reset. And when I would come back the following day, I would not be in a fight mode anymore. So about 1 month into this process, I got tested. I had a brutal losing day. I think it was like 3 or 4 losing trades. And all those trades were according to my plan, at my stop loss. But it still hurted so much. I think I remember I was like $600, $650 down. And I felt it. That familiar feeling. That voice inside me telling, "You can't end your day like this. You are a failure. What have you done? 4 losses in a row. You like wasted 3 days of your trading. Oh, look, this is a perfect setup. A+ setup. Just go in right now and you can make it all back, and even better. Size up and you can make it all back even quicker." But this time, I caught it. I stood up, closed my platforms, shut down the computer and walked away. Because I knew if I was going to sit there and watch in the market, I would jump right back in. So I removed myself from the environment. And believe me, it wasn't great. It wasn't a nice feeling. But at least I stopped myself. I withdrew the opportunity for me to revenge trade at that moment. And so the next day, the day after the break, I had a great day. I think I made all of that losses back and even more. So I was surprised, even though I felt terrible at the moment, even though I had to wait the next day, panicking that, oh my goodness, I lost so much. I stopped myself, I waited, and then I came back in with a clear mind, and it was a great day. Making it all back in one day wasn't my plan. And yes, it felt great, but it's not an important thing. The important thing here is that I didn't spiral. For the first time in 3 years, I had a losing day and didn't spiral. That was a big achievement for me. I didn't break my rules, I didn't size up, I didn't revenge trade. I just accepted the loss and moved on. And that's when I knew something has changed. So it's been 3 months since I started this process. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not perfect. I still feel that pull sometimes. I still feel that urge, that desire to make the losses back immediately. That voice that says, "You're failing, you're behind." But now I recognize it, I catch myself early, and I have tools to interrupt it. And here's what changed. I haven't blown an account in 3 months. Not because I didn't have losing days, I had plenty of them, but because losing days don't trigger me anymore like they used to. Now they're just part of the job, data. My equity curve is boring now. It's not like it used to, with dramatic spikes and crashes. It's just slow, steady climb with pullbacks. And boring is profitable. I'm not making crazy money, I'm not doubling my account every month, but I'm consistent, and that's what matters. And I actually believe for the first time in 3 years that I can make it as a trader, because I finally trained my brain to understand that losing is a part of winning. So here's the takeaway. Here's what I want you to do. If you're watching it and you recognize yourself in it, if you are a trader who melts down after a losing day, who revenge trades, who sizes up when frustrated, I want you to try something. For the next 30 trades, I want you to focus on one thing, following your stop loss. Not making money, not was you right or was you wrong, just did I follow my stop loss? And every time you do, I want you to celebrate it, out loud or in your mind. Say, great job, that's what professionals do. And I know it feels stupid, but do it anyway. And then track it, write it down, build an evidence that you can be consistent, you can follow your rules. And after any losing day, take the next day off. Give your brain time to reset. 3 things, that's it. And it's not going to fix everything overnight. It took me around 2 months when I started feeling the shift. But believe me, it will start to rewire your brain. Losses will slowly stop feeling like death. They will start feeling like data, just losses. And that's when you will stop melting down. That's when you will become consistent. I wasted 3 years and hundreds of accounts learning this lesson the hard way. But you don't have to. Your brain isn't broken. It's just not trained yet. Your brain is just doing the very thing it is supposed to do, it is designed to do, to protect you from the pain. But in trading, avoiding pain destroys you. So the only way out is to accept it. Train your brain, one loss at a time. If it's resonated with you, let me know in the comments. What's your pattern? Do you melt down after a losing day? Do revenge trade? Size up? What's your pattern? And let's figure it out together. I'll see you in the next one.